going to take you to a very special place, il Labirinto della Masone. We are close to Parma, close to the village of Fontanellato, which, by the way, has a very beautiful Rocca di San Vitale, a castle with Parmigianino frescoes, but we are going to make an article about that later on.
Yes, because today we're going to concentrate on this amazing structure, which is the largest labyrinth in the world, created in 2015 by Franco Ricci, a publisher and a graphic designer, as a promise
and a collector
and an art collector, as a promise to Jorge Luis Borges back in 1977. He basically wanted to concentrate and give back to nature and to the historical sense of this area, this as a gift.
Yeah, because all the area around here used to belong to his family for generations. Created on an area of 7 acres, the labyrinth counts something like 200,000 plants, bamboo plants, of 20 different species, from very small ones to giants. The bamboo is a very fast-growing plant and very rarely gets sick. And it's an evergreen, and it consumes an awful lot of
Carbon dioxide.
So for all these characteristics, actually the labyrinth looks almost the same during the 12 months of the year.
The complex also houses cultural spaces for roughly 5,000 square meters, of which includes an art gallery that carries the collection of 500 works that he's had from the 15th, 16th century artists, a library which contains his works from 50 years as graphic designer and also his editorial work. And there is also a restaurant.
A luxury restaurant and 2 luxury suites for those who are lucky enough to stay here overnight.
Bookstore.
The bookstore.
And a little cafe. The buildings of the Masone Labyrinth were designed by Piercarlo Bontempi, an architect from Parma who shares with Franco Ricci the love for classic forms of Italian tradition and the French utopistic neoclassic architecture. All the buildings are made of handmade bricks, a building material typical of the Po Valley area, to create harmony between the architectural structures and the surrounding landscape.
Inside the labyrinth, which is almost 3 kilometers long as a path, there is a chapel, a pyramid-shaped chapel that you see in the back here, which represents is a symbolism for the connection between labyrinths and spirituality. On the flooring of this structure, a labyrinth is depicted as a continuous reminder between exterior and interior. In this fascinating place, it is possible to celebrate intimate ceremonies.
But let's talk about the significance of the labyrinth with its intricate floor plans and difficult exits.
Especially for people like me that have no sense of direction whatsoever, and I get lost in my own neighborhood.
There are 3 forms of the classic labyrinth: the Cretan with 7 coils, the Roman labyrinth with right angles and subdivided into quarters, which makes 4 intercommunicating labyrinths, and the Christian maze with 11 circles.
Ricci decided to use the second one, the Roman structure with the squares, but he introduced some variations like blind exits and forks, like traps, to make the people inside the labyrinth get lost more easily. The structure, the design outside, the perimeter, is shaped as a star, like we saw in Sabbioneta. Probably you saw the video we shot last summer. And in Palmanova, in Friuli Venezia Giulia.
Which we'll hopefully be doing an article very soon.
Very soon, because I'm curious about the place.
Now, the legend of the labyrinth's birth takes us back to the middle of the 2nd millennium before Christ, in the Masone area. We are in Crete, the largest Greek island ruled by King Minos, who finds himself, following a very long story, in possession of a monstrous being, half man and half bull.
The ferocious anthropophagus is kept in the labyrinth by the king. The labyrinth was built by the architect Daedalus, and every year Minos had to make a sacrifice that consisted in giving to the beast 7 boys and 7 girls that were coming from Athens. Athens at that time was subjected to Crete. The tormented story ends with the arrival of Teseo. Teseo is the prince of Athens, and he manages to enter the labyrinth and kill the Minotaur. But his way out is due to the present that he gets from Arianna, which is the famous thread of Arianna.
Arianna, who is in love with Theseus, gives him, before facing this test, a ball of yarn that he unfolds at the entrance of the labyrinth and before killing the monster. The term labyrinth can be derived from the Latin words labyrinthus, which means inner work. The labyrinth is a symbol of life. Life is a fight that requires courage. As a journey and as an effort, the long process of individual transformation. A path in which we do not see the map, but in which we risk to get lost.
And here we are at the very center of the labyrinth, the pyramid, which represents the inner and hidden sacredness of the search. According to the ancient alchemist, the path leads into a deep transformation of the human being, which is the real significance of the labyrinth as a symbolic structure. In fact, in the Middle Ages, the most famous representations of the labyrinth are found in the floor of the Gothic cathedrals. The Masone Labyrinth is a very fascinating place, so we advise you, if you are in the area, we are in the Po Valley, to pay a visit to it because it's nice, interesting and beautiful, and the labyrinth make you, how can I say, reflect about human nature. Don't forget we are in the Duchy of
Parma and Piacenza, very close to Parma.
So excellent food and a lot of castles to visit.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to our Casa Chiesi YouTube channel. Check out the website www.casachiesi.com. Subscribe to the newsletter for all things related to Italy and our love for Italy.
Ciao!
Bye.